Hello. This is day 6 of waiting for Pokemon Champignons. This is going to be number 2 of the series of explaining the mechanics of the game. So, video number 2 is damage. How is damage calculated? Because in order to win in the game, you have to reduce your opponent's HP to 0. And how you do that? Damage. So, roughly, how is damage calculated? So this is rough formula. This is not the actual formula, but this is what to consider when estimating the damage. So first, there's the power of the move itself that the Pokemon is gonna use. Alright, so each Pokemon, like, you run all these moves, and all these moves have a base power. Okay, pretty simple. The attack stat, obviously. Attack stat. That's like okay attack. For reference, 110 is like it's like okay. Okay. A good attack stat is 130 base stat before all the training and things that. What's not a good attack stat? I mean, yeah, that's it. What's a bad attack stat? Well, bad attack stat is gonna be like honestly anything below 100. So yeah, attack stat. And the counterbalance obviously is the defense stat. Actually, I forgot to take into account, but I mean, yeah, it's defense stat, and I guess we can count HP in it, but whatever. We'll see later. The defensive stats, and then all sorts of modifiers. So, firstly, let's go through the main modifiers that you're gonna find. First to know is stab. This one is not really, it's kind of hidden. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. The game doesn't show it to you. But stab, what does it mean? Does it mean like knife people, London? No. It means same type attack bonus. What does it mean? It means if you attack with a move that is the same type of your Pokemon, for example, here, Double Edge, it's a normal type attack, power of 120. If it's used by a Snorlax, who is also a normal type, it's gonna have a stab boost. But how much is a stab boost? Dr. Eggman, it's times 1.5. So it's pretty massive. It is absolutely massive. So that's have to be taken into account. Obviously, if the Pokemon has 2 types, because Pokemon can have 2 types, both types can apply the stab. Next is the type effectiveness. We're gonna go deeper on that one, but basically, here's the chart. Remember the chart. It is what it is. You gotta learn. Right? Fire against fire is half damage. Fire attacking water is also half damage. Fire against grass is double the damage, etc., etc. Some types have immunities. Normal cannot touch ghost, and actually ghost can also not touch normal. Electric does 0 damage to ground, and this is the chart for one type, right? And if the Pokemon has 2 types, defensively, if the defending Pokemon, the Pokemon who's taking the attack, has 2 types, obviously it combines the things. So for example, I don't know, if I'm using a fire move against a fire type, a fire and water type, it's gonna do a quarter of the damage. So there's that. You just gotta learn. The game is gonna tell you anyways. It's super effective or not. It's gonna tell you. You don't know. Next, spread moves. some moves can hit 2 targets. And when they do, the damage is divided. You only apply 3/4 of the damage. So you get a little bit of a damage nerf when you use a move that's a spread move. For example, the move Earthquake. Yeah, it's a base power of 100. This move hits adjacent Pokemon. Adjacent means every Pokemon that's around him, so every Pokemon on the battle. This base power is 100, but if you're actually hitting multiple Pokemon with the Earthquake, then it's gonna be only 75. So there's that. Next up, stat boost. Each stat, besides HP, each of these stats can be boosted or nerfed up to 6 stages. So we're talking +1, +2, +3, +6, or -1 if it's debuff, until -6. What do they mean? What does +1 mean? Well, basically, from +1 up to +6, okay? Your damage. So this is a positive boost, okay? It's boost. Your damage is gonna go from X 1.5 up to X4. Right? So if your Pokemon is +6, a bunch of moves can increase your attack, like it can buff your attack stat. That's what it means. For example, Belly Drum. Belly Drum is crazy because it maximizes attack. What does that mean is that it gives a +6 boost on the attack stat of the Pokemon that use that. And that will be multiplied by 4. Here there's a bunch of calculators online where you can calculate the damage. And for example, you can see here, basically here, don't need to care about anything, but let's just look at the damage here. You can see 100 here, right? If I go to +6, it's gonna be 400, right? And if I go to -6, it'll be 26. Because the next step was -1 down to -6 is gonna be. It's gonna be times 0. Down to 0.25, so a quarter, right? So either up to +6 times 4 or down to -6, it's divided by 4. So these are stat boosts. We'll go over what actually can introduce the stat boosts, because there's a bunch of things. I mean, it's moves that do that usually, moves and abilities, but we'll go over that later. Just know it exists. I think that's about it for the stat boosts. And yeah, you cannot go over +6. So even if you're at +6 and you use another stat boosting attack, it won't go over +6. And same with -6. I mean, if you're -6, you FF. But yeah. Crits. So crit has multiple effects. First of all, it boosts the damage by 1.5. By 50, yeah, plus 50%. Also, it ignores negative stat boosts. And by negative, I don't mean the stat nerfs. I mean the entire stat boosts that can affect negatively your damage output. Which means if the enemy has a defense buff, the crit ignores it. If you have an attack nerf, the crit also ignores it. So it's there pretty much to remove the cheesy strats of just boosting your Pokemon up to crazy amounts, and then it's unkillable, and it just kills you by just poisoning you with like dot damage like every turn. This is the mechanic that prevents that, because there's a crit. I think it's like 6% chance, 7% chance. I'm not kidding. I think it's that on every hit, and so here it is. It also, I think, it ignores the light screens and the. But it knows the screens. We're gonna see what the screens are later. Wait, does it actually ignore? I think it knows the screens. I think it ignores the screen. Can I see? Can I have crit here? Where's a crit? I can just check a crit. Oh, I know. So I completely forgot. So Surging Strikes, it does 780, right? 780. If I remove, it still does 780. Yeah. So crits actually ignore the screens. So and ignore screens. But yeah, basically it ignores because the screen is basically a stat boost, kind of. That goes over the caps. Yeah, we'll see about that later. All right, and last but definitely not least, every damage has a roll. You are never gonna do, almost ever gonna do the same exact amount of damage because it rolls between 0.85 to 100%. So all these taken into account, there's at the end there's always going to be a roll, and you're going to do between 100% to 85% of the actual damage. So there's this RNG there to be aware of. That's for the main modifiers. Like these are like pretty much always there. And now let's see the other modifiers. Weather and terrain. Weather, such as sun, rain. We're gonna go over these later. What they do. Snow even. They can affect the damage calculation. Sun boosts fire type attacks by 50%. Rain boosts water type attacks by 50%. But rain also reduces fire type attacks by 50%. So there's all these things. We'll go over everything exactly. And also terrain has that too. Electric terrain boosts now at electric attacks, for example, by 30%. There is misty terrain, which is the fairy type terrain, that reduces the dragon type attacks by 50%. So there's all these to know, but we're gonna see. There's also items. So the life orb is an item that the Pokemon can hold that gives him 30% more damage on his attacks, on every attack. There's also the choice band that gives 50%, but it has another drawback, which is you can only use one move. So yeah, you can boost with items, and you can boost with special moves. So Helping Hand is a move that a partner Pokemon that's sitting next to the one who's attacking. The partner uses a Helping Hand on the attacking Pokemon, and so the attacking Pokemon is gonna get a plus 50% boost once again on his attack. Screens. What do I mean by screens? It's attacks. It's light screen. Right. Light screen for 5 turns. Whoa. For 5 turns. Yeah, okay. But for 5 turns, the party that has the light screen up takes 0.66 of the damage. So basically, as if they were -1 from the stat boost. But it goes over the minus. You could be -6, and also your enemy has the light screen, so it's effectively a -7. And there's light screen and what's the other screen? I forgot the name. Reflect. Those are 2 moves that set up a screen and drop the damage. for 5 to 8 turns. So yeah, those are the moves that can affect the damage calculation. Next is one of the statuses. It's burn. Your Pokemon can be burned. So if your Pokemon is burnt, here, status, healthy, let's make him burnt, and he drops the damage. Let's see, but 200 and then 400, right? Because burn status drops the physical damage by half. It divides it by 2. Only for the physical damage. I now realize I should have put this earlier because I need to talk about this. We'll see. And also abilities. Some abilities can affect the damage calculation. There's an ability called Friend Guard, which drops the damage taken by your partner, okay, the partner of the Pokemon that has the Friend Guard ability. Okay, let me actually... I don't have it anymore, whatever. So it drops the damage taken by the friend that is guarded by Friend Guard. It drops by a quarter. It's yeah, it's X. It does X. I guess I'll type it. But Friend Guard, it gives X 75, 0.75 to the partner. There's also, this is really specific. It's only like a legendary thingy, but we could go to Chien-Pao. He has the ability Sword of Ruin, and active Pokemon without this ability have their defense multiplied by 0.75. This is the opposite of Friend Guard, pretty much. So yeah, you just, some abilities can affect the damage calculation, like just by the Pokemon being there on the field. So there's that. And now the elephant in the room, the Donphan in the room, is physical versus special. So damage is actually spread in 2 categories, because you have physical damage and special damage. This also goes for the defense stats. You have physical defense and special defense. So let's see here. We can look at the stats here. So there's attack here, right? Attack, good attack stat, 160, that's massive. Defense stat. So the attack stat, when calculated for damage, it's gonna go against the defense stat, right? If you go back to the earlier formula, it's gonna be attack stat versus the defense stat. The special attack stat is gonna be calculated in the formula against special defense, right here. And the type of damage, the type of damage, not the type. Type is the type. This physical or special, okay, of the damage is dictated by the move. It's the move that is either physical or special. It's not about the Pokemon itself, it's about the move. The move is either physical move or special move, and then it will calculate from the physical or the special attack of the Pokemon that is using it. You guys later.